Welcome students to today's e-learning session. Title of the unit is Morphology of Angiosperm. Name of the module is Flower, Bracts and Pedicel. Module number 17. I am Harshala Ghat, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier's College, Mapsa, Goa. To give you a brief outline of today's module, we will be giving you the definition of flower, bracts and pedicel, mentioning the characteristics of flower, functions of flower, bracts and pedicel. The learning outcome of this module will be to define a flower, bracts and pedicel, identify flower, bracts and pedicel, differentiate the parts of the flower, and explain the functions of the flower, bracts and pedicel. A flower is a highly modified shoot bearing specialized floral leaves. The axis of the flower is condensed to form thalamus, commonly bearing four whorls of floral parts, namely calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. In the slide, in the picture, you can see the green color part is labeled as calyx. The colored lobes of the flower are referred as corolla, and the two reproductive organs, the one which produces the male organ, the one which produces the male gamete is called as androecium, and the one responsible for formation of female gamete is called as gynoecium. When it comes to characteristic of flower, flower varies in its shape, size and color, but the basic structure of flower remains same. That is, flower comprises of calyx. Calyx is the outermost whorl, and in most of the flowers it is mostly green in color and rarely it is colored to attract the pollinators, wherein it is referred as petaloid. The next whorl inner to the calyx is called as corolla. Corolla is the brightly colored showy inner whorl of the flower. The calyx and corolla are together referred as floral envelope, as they envelop the reproductive organ, that is androecium and gynoecium. Androecium is the male reproductive organ, whereas gynoecium is the female reproductive organ in the flower. Coming to the functions of flower, flower provides a mechanism to attract pollinators to facilitate pollination, and this is achieved by its colorful showy corolla along with sometime petaloid calyx. Another function related to the flower is it functions as a platform for the sexual reproductive system of the plant. When the pollination occurs and gamete fusion takes place, the later stage of fertilization and seed setting is done inside the floral envelope. Coming to the next part related to the flowers is the bracts. The floral bud usually are borne in the axil of specialized leaf called bracts. In most of the plants, these bracts are green in color, and in some plant species they may be colored and modified to attract the pollinators. The flowers which are found based on the presence or absence of the bracts associated with the flower, flower can be classified into two types, bracteate and ebracteate. Bracteate flowers are the one which bears bracts, whereas ebracteate flower is the one which lacks the bracts or which shows absence of the bracts. In the case of bracteate flower, you can clearly see in this picture, here the bracts are green in color and they are found at the basal part of the flower. Coming to the functions of bracts, bracts provides protection to the developing flower bud from herbivores and from harsh climatic condition. Another function related to the bracts is that bracts when brightly colored, help in pollination by attracting pollinators to the flower. In this slide, you can see a beautiful picture of curcuma, and in most of the gingiber family, the bracts are brightly colored along with the function of providing protection to the developing bud and flower. Here, due to their brightly colored nature, they also help in pollination. The next part associated with the flower is the pedicel. A pedicel is a small stalk bearing an individual flower in an inflorescence. We call a flower as pedicellate when flower is distinctly borne on a pedicel, whereas a flower is referred to as subsessile flower when the pedicel is either short or it is not so distinct. In case of pedicel flower, here you can see the attachment of the flower to the main stem with the help of stalk, which is referred as pedicel. Sessile flower is a flower without a distinct pedicel. In case of sessile flower, the flowers are directly attached to the floral axis without any specialized stalk. Coming to the functions of pedicel, pedicel holds individual flower in place onto the plant. Apart from carrying out the function of holding the flower onto the plant or onto the inflorescence axis, pedicel also helps flower to raise above the foliar part so that the flower gets exposed to the sunlight and pollinating agent.